Let me begin with sincere thanks to the organizers who have brought me here today. I have felt tremendous energy that I have not experienced in a long, long time. To see an audience filled with women, to have a woman recite Quran. From where I come, this is truly exceptional, where women, especially in the northern part of India, have to still struggle to gain access to mosque spaces. This is a source of great energy for me to see that women are out here and they are thinking about their situation and they are deliberating about how to continue and realize the dream of their political agency. So I once again thank the organizers to bring me out here, and I thank all of you to come and listen to me. Let me begin with something that we can all relate to. When I was young, I was beginning to understand the crisis of being a Muslim woman in today's world. A Muslim woman in the sense that who still wants to believe in her religion or the ideals of her religion, and who still wants to live a life guided by certain principles or certain ideas. So as a teenager, it was very difficult for me to figure out what is my place in the world, in the bigger world, okay? So what can I do or achieve with my political ideas or thinking? And I was a very curious teenager and I asked lots of questions. And I know some of the organizers might have observed that I keep asking questions. So when I was a teenager, I went to my grandmother and I said, why do they say Muslim women are oppressed? You know, they don't have any voice, they don't have any ideas, they are just there as childbearing machines for men. What is this idea? Where does it come from? So at first she said, it's true, actually. I mean, yes, Muslim women are oppressed. We don't have much agency. But as she began talking about this incident, she quickly said, you know, when my husband didn't do things for me, I would actually not cook for him and I would like punish him. And I'm like, okay, that's very different from being an oppressed woman, right? So you are doing things that are oppressive on men. So she said, well, I had to because I wanted to live a very different life and he wouldn't allow me at some point. And I would go out and participate in political mobilizations. I will go out and do things that I would like. And eventually, when he passed away, I took care of 5 children and I educated all of them. So I'm very proud of who I was. I was an angry wife, but I was very happy. But you know, what was interesting for me, and it became a sort of a foundation for me to think about myself in a different light, that look, here is 2 generations before me, a woman who is much more politically aware, who is much more liberated than she can think, right? But what has happened to the generation that I come from? Why is there no space for me to talk about what I think? Why are there so many prohibitions from the public sphere, from the political sphere, from the personal sphere? Why is there obliteration of my voice? Why is my voice being silenced? So this led me to a journey of 8 long years of study, different subjects that are related to the question of Muslim women. And in the morning at the academic conference, I spoke about some of these issues, but I would like to reiterate some of these issues that I find very disturbing. And one of the biggest things that is disturbing is everybody has something to say about Muslim women. Everybody has a space to actually articulate what is a good Muslim woman or what is an ideal Muslim woman or how bad or worse a Muslim woman is, except the Muslim woman herself. So first of all, let us be very clear. Let us create an awareness among ourselves that we are not merely cultural representations, or we are not merely religious symbols, or we are not merely what we wear on our head, but what we keep in our head, what we think about our life, what is our history that makes us who we are. So what I narrated about my grandmother, maybe it's not true about women in Kerala, right? Or maybe it's not true about women in Delhi or in, say, Afghanistan, because we are grappling with very different political situations. So I feel particularly happy that here in Calicut, a space like this has been formed where women, Muslim women, can start to reclaim the public space and say we can represent ourselves, not merely in defense of Islam, but in defense of who we are and how we want to articulate our Muslimness. Not necessarily just because what I have come to realize is Islam does not need our defense. We don't need to defend Islam. We need to live it. We need to bring what are the best ideas that it brings to our life that makes us socially, politically, and culturally aware people who can bring about change. At the same time, I don't want to reduce the idea of childbearing and domestic life to nothing. I think one of the crucial roles here is to understand how do we create more egalitarian, more balanced, more equal, and more just societies, while also living the lives that we seem are important for us, or are the lives that we should be living. In that, I see women here in Kerala, they have a huge potential to become leaders, not for just for their community, but for women in the entire subcontinent, even for the women in the Middle East. Because today, there is shrinking space for Muslim women in every country to come out and articulate what their lived experiences really mean to our societies. Our women, they are grappling with issues that range from one level to the other. There are issues of sexual violence, there are issues of domestic violence, there is issues of misrepresentation by political parties in our environment out there. There is silencing of Muslim women in the broader political culture. And how do we specialize or bring ourselves to the point that when we are there, nobody else can dare to speak for us? How do we bring ourselves to the position that we take control of how we are seen, not anymore as victims, not anymore as women who are in need of saving, who should be saved, but as women who are capable to defend themselves, as women who are capable to present their ideas of what they mean and don't mean in the broader political culture today. With the issue that has recently touched Muslim women in India, which is the triple talaq, and what I observe is there are so many people, the secularists, the left nationalists, the right-wingers, who have a lot of things to say about what is happening to Muslim women. But what I don't see is Muslim women coming out and talking about their lived experience of something called triple talaq. And also to articulate the difference, that this is an issue that has not touched everyone in the country. It is not the same issue for every specific Muslim woman living in different communities. So there is also a need for women here in Kerala to come and become representatives of women everywhere else in the country. And with that, I truly believe that this is that space which has grown and which has thrived to become a space of leadership and creative thinking. And I deeply and sincerely thank the organizers to take this initiative and bring me here to talk to all of you. It's indeed a great pleasure, and I hope that all of your efforts will continue to inspire everyone. Thank you so much.